This video will be specifically covering Gunner's skill tree as a main class, as it offers very little as a sub nowadays. Okay, so as always, the top row, and a few on the right, you unlock for free. These two right here don't currently exist in NA, but grab them both when the level cap raises. Advanced Dive Roll grants a short iframe when dodging, but it's so short that it's not worth your points. Dive Roll Shot allows you to attack when using a dive roll. For 1 point, it's pretty useful. And for reference, Dive Roll is just the Gunner's version of Sidestep or Dodge. Twin Machine Gun Mastery is usually maxed as it gives 5% crit damage and extra PP regen. It may not seem like much right now, but once paired with 0 range critical, it becomes much more useful. Twin Machine Gun Stylus Charge allows you to forego charging PAs when using them after another PA or tech. This is absolutely necessary and amazing for only 1 point. Next, don't ever bother with any of these straight stat up skills, as they require lots of skill points and don't give nearly as much in return as other skills will further down in the tree. You will, however, need 3 points into Ranged Power Up 1 to unlock everything below it. Don't put any more points into it after that though. Twin Machine Gun Focus should be taken as it unlocks the focus bar or gauge, which fills up as you land attacks and gives 30% damage bonus when the bar is maxed. This will deplete over time when not attacking and will also lower when being hit. However, with the skill Time Save over here, your focus won't be impacted at all when being hit. Advanced Aerial at first may sound like a really good skill, but it probably doesn't work the way you think. It only increases your damage to an airborne enemy, not your damage when attacking in the air. Therefore, it's not worth your points as you are already on a tight skill point budget with this class. Automate Deadline automatically uses a mate item when you drop below 25% health. You generally shouldn't be getting this slow consistently, and even if you do, just get out of the way and heal up as usual, as you really need these points elsewhere. If you end up picking a Hunter sub, you can use their Automate Halfline anyways, which is significantly better since it procs when you get below 50% HP instead of 25%, which is much more reasonable. Point Blank Boost 1 and 2 together, when maxed, simply increase your damage by 20% when in close range. And 0 range critical works hand in hand with these, as it increases your crit rate by 50% when in close range. Luckily, most of the Gunner PAs are close range, so if you're close enough to actually do damage with them, you're most likely getting the effects of these skills. Max all 3. Attack PP Restorate at max doubles the amount of PP regen you get from normal attacks. You don't have to max this, but it's usually recommended to, as it keeps you going in combat without worrying as much about your PP. Perfectionist is an amazing skill that grants a 20% damage bonus when your health is over 75%. Max this and try not to ever get hit. Moving back up, we have Showtime and its modifiers. Showtime itself is an active buff that boosts your focus accumulation rate in return for increasing your threat or aggro level. Due to limited skill points, it is usually suggested to only put 2 to 4 points into this. Showtime Star boosts your max PP when using twin machine guns. You need at least 3 points into this to unlock the 2 skills below it. Time Save we just mentioned as it pertains to negating the focus loss when being hit. Then there's High Time, which goes into effect during Showtime. This boosts your damage by 3% per second and caps out at 20%. And speaking of 20%, if you lose up to 20% of your HP within 5 seconds while it's active, this bonus will be reset and start back from 0. Luckily, when maxed, this only takes roughly 7 seconds to reach 20%, and is a pretty nice boost for only 5 points. Encore Time will recast Showtime if you took no damage for its duration. This is useful, as unlike regular High Time, you will not lose any built-up damage when being hit in Encore Time. For 1 point, you might as well take it. Chain Trigger and its modifiers are fundamental to how Gunners work, and you should max all of them. I go into much greater detail of how these work about halfway into my intro to Gunner video. However, I'll try to sum it up quickly here. When activating Chain Trigger, normal attacking a spot leaves a counter. Normal attacking that spot again will increase the counter to a max of 100. Using a PA will stop the counter and give a boost to whatever PAs you do within the next 3 seconds. This boost corresponds to how high you got the counter and is also impacted by Chain Finish for even more damage. Double Chain makes it so the counter will increase twice as fast, and Chain Finisher bonus reduces the cooldown of Chain Trigger depending on how high the counter was. The next 3 impact the damage you do when attacking during the weapon action dodge. Unfortunately, at the 75 cap, you will not have enough skill points to take any of these, but we'll be able to get all of them later on in future updates. Let's still go over them anyways to give you an idea of how they work. Stylish Roll Up simply boosts the damage you deal when normal attacking while weapon actioning. Stylish Roll Finisher allows you to do a different type of attack when using a PA during the weapon action dodge. And Stylish Roll Perfect Attack bonus gives a 10% damage boost to perfect attacks during the Stylish Roll weapon action. And that's about it for Gunner's skill tree. I know it might be a little annoying, but with this class you have very little room for personal preference, especially with what we have right now. As usual, I left some sample level 75 skill trees down in the description, and they use the same site you see in these videos. If you are unfamiliar with it, the links to these builds I give out have both a main and a subtree. Just check the top and click on the appropriate tab to see the subs tree. And with that, take care.